So if you're here and you're joining me live, thank you. Listen, let me give you a few updates first because I am so proud of myself and this little thing that I built. This is my new mic stand that I'm using. And I'm so excited about it. Now what I have set up right now, because this is how this is going to work. And I told you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, I said, I am going to start vlogcasting this summer, which means that it's not a podcast, it's a vlogcast, meaning that every part of it, I guess, you know, me talking is going to be done via video. So up here, I have my video. So hello to all the YouTube people who are watching this on the replay. I'm not live on YouTube right now. What I'm doing is I am live streaming to my Facebook group right here in front of me, and then up there is the more professional quality video. So most of the time I may be looking up there, but I will look down here for questions or if anybody has anything to say. I don't know if these are always going to be lunchtime. I don't know, you know, when the inspiration will strike, but when it does, then I will pop on live and I will come and talk to you guys. So hi everyone, I'm seeing comments, but they're not popping up like, you know, like live for me, so I don't really know what to do. Okay, hi Tara, hi Dee, glad to see you too. I don't know, it's so weird because I'm not seeing the comments pop up in real time, so I'll try to kind of go back and share. Yeah, but share this if you're interested. That's the reason why I'm doing it on this page and not inside of my private Facebook group, because a lot of you said, oh, can you do this over there so that I can share it? Because when it's in the private Facebook group, it's not shareable content. So, and I don't really want to do it for my personal page necessarily, so I'm doing it from here instead. So if you want to share it, then please do. And thanks so much. And hi, Kizzy. I think I can see the comments pop up here, but not over there. So anyway, here we are talking live. Hi again to everybody who's on YouTube. And what we're going to talk about today is something that I thought about earlier when I was at the gym. Living this discounted version of yourself. Now for the last, I would say 2-3 months, I've been kind of on the road. You guys know if you follow me on social media, I've been in New York and DC, and then I have Las Vegas coming up. So I've kind of just been all over the place, traveling and speaking and doing workshops all over the country, talking about social media and online entrepreneurship and what that looks like. And the most common thing that has come up in these conversations is people they say they don't know what to do. So if you don't know what to do, that's okay, because there are so many people in the online space that are helping you, that are wanting to help you so that you do know what to do. Here's the hiccup that comes after that. I can give somebody all the strategy in the world. I can lay it out for you. I can map it out. I can provide as much content. I can provide the courses. I can provide everything for you. And then people come to me and they'll say, but this, or but this happened, or but that happened. Which I totally get, because this is real life. Like in real life, we will always have setbacks. There are things that are going to hinder us from achieving the goals that we want to achieve. I get that. However, what I do not get is people who love to settle down in the fact that they're not able to move forward in success. Like they will find something that is not working and their mind will default to, oh, it's not working, so this is now home for me. Right. And that cannot be the way that you're thinking. If you want to grow an online business, if you want to grow, hi, Asia from Chicago. Hi, Lila from Detroit. If you're wanting to grow, Nelson from the UK, Claire from, there's people from London. Hello, guys. If you're wanting to build an online business or be an online entrepreneur, we can't let those excuses be the thing that's not holding us back. And I've trained my mind almost to listen to people's excuses, because what I'm trying to do is research on what excuses people really give. I have yet to hear an excuse that is enough of one that means that this is not working for you. This will never work for you. You're right. Actually, that excuse, that's a good one. And like I said, I get that people have things that are happening in real time and in real life that are causing you to not be able to move forward. But let's not make that home for us. Let's not take those excuses of, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't know what to do, my car got broken into, whatever, my car was this, I lost my shoes. Like I've heard so many different reasons. We give ourselves so many reasons to not move forward. So here's what I want to do with this video today. In this video today, I want to talk about how you can give yourself the gift of expansion. the gift of elevation. And I almost posted this, like I almost wrote out a post. You guys know, like I write like blog posts on Facebook and on Instagram, which you guys seem to enjoy. But I felt like for this one, I wanted to have a legit conversation. Let's actually talk about this because I want you guys to realize that the dreams that you have, and I've said this on multiple occasions, the dreams that you have, those are not going anywhere. You will have the exact same dream eating at you for the rest of your life because it is a desire that demands expression. And the longer you try to suppress it, the more frustrated you will become. And I don't know if I've told this story. I don't know how publicly I've told the story, but I say all the time, like when I was in that space of like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, and I did not know how to express it. It was a short period of time, by the way, that this happened, but I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. And like pills and everything, like went to the doctor, legit diagnosed. Somebody said, you have generalized anxiety disorder. And he gave me pills to like help me with my anxiety. I took them one time. I remember it was an Easter Sunday. I want to say it was like 2009 or 2010. Maybe it was like Easter of 2010. I had this anxiety disorder. And I took the pills one time and they made me stay up all night long. I couldn't even sleep. And I was like, these pills are stupid and they're for the birds. So I tossed them out. I never took them again, but mostly because I recognized that my anxiety was not because I had some chemical imbalance in my body, but I really do think that my anxiety was because there was something inside of me that was just waiting to come out. And I hadn't explored or even given myself the opportunity to explore what that would look like at that period of time in my life. And so what happened was I had all this pent up stuff, like all these dreams, and I can go back to my childhood of knowing that there was something big that I was supposed to do, but I never gave myself the opportunity to explore it. And maybe you don't know what it is you want to do right now. Maybe you just know that what you're doing right now is not it, and there is something else. Give yourself the opportunity to explore. And it was right around this time, right after that is when I found YouTube and I started my YouTube channel. And if you go to my first video, it was bad because it was bad. But what it did, it allowed me to start to explore something that was inside of me that I didn't even know existed. Back then, online entrepreneurship wasn't actually like a thing. Like I'm sure that there were people who were making money, probably like tech stuff. Hey, Fizzy, thank you. Like tech stuff, things like that. Like there were people that were doing that in the online space, but in terms of like online coaching or online personal development, that was not an actual thing. So I couldn't have explored it even if I wanted to. But what I did is I took one step in the right direction. And a lot of you guys are one step away from moving forward into the life that you really want to live. Because so many people find themselves in the mundane of, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to work and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to cook dinner for my kids and I'm going to do the laundry and then I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do the exact same thing all over again. And then you're unhappy. And I said this the other day, but I said the majority of my clients are in their 40s. The majority of my clients are older than I am. They've been doing their job for a lot longer than I was doing my job. And the reason why they're wanting to explore something new is because 20 years ago, when they went to school for this, they were told, this is a good job. This is what you're going to have. Hi, Sorabel. You're going to have this amazing job and you're going to be able to save for retirement and you're going to do all these things in your job. And they realize that having a good job is not really the life that they want. Having a good job isn't the full expression of what they're meant to do on this planet. And so they're ready to explore something else. And so this summer, you guys know when I launch Platform again, I will take, 3 or 4 dozen people into the stratosphere of success that they may have never known possible for themselves because they are ready. They stop making the excuses. They stop living the discounted version of themselves or a shadow of what they really can be in this life. And they're ready to move forward and do something bigger because so many people are operating in like these, well, let me just try it. Let me just do like a little bit. And then doing a little bit they find doesn't work. And so they end up quitting. And the reason why the little bit isn't working is because you're half in, half out. And you'll always have a quote unquote safety net. Now I had a conversation with a friend of mine who is ready to start this new venture. So he was looking for an ear to listen and looking what it's going to look like for him to do this. And he said, I'm just tired. I'm tired of playing small. I feel like I'm not really making the impact that I'm ready to make in this world. And the reason why is because I've always had a safety net. I've always focused on a safety net. I've always had like this job that was going to do this. But the truth is that when you have the safety net, you're never going to fly. Because you don't have a reason to. You'll never have a reason to spread your wings. You'll never have a reason to go all in. You never will. And all you will do is sing your shoulda, coulda, wouldas on the dreams that you once had. And then you'll be there, at the end of your life going, man, I wish I had more time. But you have time now. Like, you have time now. And if you're not willing to go all in now, then what? Right? And so you guys know I launched this new program for parents and for kids, for the kids who want to be kid influencers. And I had this conversation as well, is that kids these days are looking at the possibility of the future in a different way than we've ever seen it. Because when we were growing up, we did not see YouTubers making money and Instagrammers making money. And we didn't see the fact that you could literally show up as yourself and then make money. Now, when I realized this, I was well into my 20s. I was on YouTube well into my 20s, and I realized, oh my gosh, like all I have to do is be me. And then that's enough. Like that is enough to sustain me. So it doesn't matter what your gift is. If you are a really amazing counselor, or you're a really amazing doctor, or you have a gift for listening to people and then pulling something out of them, or you have a gift of healing people from the inside, whatever the case is, there's probably a reason. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that there's probably a reason why that's happening. And then secondly, if I'm looking up again, it's because I'm talking to my camera, because that's what's going to go on YouTube. But I'll answer any comments that you guys have, or I'm trying to at the very least. So let's acknowledge. Hi, good. Leela's ready. Sorabel, you want to know more for your son? Awesome. I'll pop the link in here later. Hey, Simone. But yeah, the point is that who you are and who you're meant to be really is the thing that you're put on this planet to do. Because let me tell you something, our dreams are not the same. Right? Can we agree? Like, I don't want to do what you do. And you probably don't want to do what I do in terms of like the overarching everything of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying maybe you do want to be a full-time entrepreneur. Yes, but you want to be a full-time entrepreneur doing the thing that you want to do. Some people don't want to be on YouTube. Some people don't want to be a coach. They want to be a consultant. Some people want to write books. And, like the dream that you've had, let's be honest with ourselves and say the dream that you've had, you probably had for a long time. Like, my camera is now full. So look at this. I can't even finish filming on that because I didn't check the SD card. So that can't even go up on my YouTube channel. That was a fail, but it's okay because we're still talking and I'll talk to you guys here. Or I'll just splice it together or film the rest of it later. I don't know. But the point is that everything that you've wanted to do, you probably want to do for a long time. You didn't just wake up one morning and say, you know what I'd like to do? I would love to quit my job. Like, it's probably been something you've been thinking about for a significant amount of time, but you have to ask yourself, when are you going to trust yourself enough to know that the thing that you want to do is the thing that you're supposed to do, right? Because doing like success, when you take a look at the definition of success, like for example, like this is a calculator. What does a calculator do? A calculator calculates numbers. You type in numbers, you pop it out, it's going to, equations, whatever the case is. That is a successful calculator. A successful calculator is one that can calculate numbers. Can I use this calculator to hammer a nail into the wall? Probably, if I turned it on its side and then I hit it with my palm, or I did, yes, I could probably nail put a small nail into my wall if I wanted to with this calculator. Does that make it a successful calculator? No. It makes it something that I just picked up real quick to do something. There's a hammer to hammer nails in. A successful calculator is one that calculates, not one that calculates and, hammers nails through a wall. That's not a successful calculator. And a lot of us, we're not operating as successful calculators. We're operating as the calculator that's trying to nail a hole in a wall because somebody told us that's what we're supposed to do. But what is the thing that you are supposed to do? Because if you're sitting here, and this is not a message that is new. I feel like I've said this all the time. But if you're sitting here and you keep thinking about it, you keep thinking about it, you keep researching it, you're watching every YouTube video on it, you're signing up for everybody's freebie, you're watching every webinar, you're doing all these things, but you're not willing to put more into it than just a little bit of research, then I don't know how you're going to get to the place where you want to go. Because I've done research on this. Like, can we just Get real. I have done the research. I don't have my dissertation here. I'm reorganizing my office. I painted the walls, by the way, if you guys don't notice. But people who are willing to go the distance, they invest in it. If you want a college degree, what do you have to do? Go to college. You have to pay for a college degree or do what you need to do to get there so you get the scholarship to get it anyway, but you're still investing because you're spending time doing it. You didn't just research the colleges. You didn't just, like, I want to get this degree. You said, I want to get this degree, I'm going to apply, and then you actually went to the classes, right? There's a level of investment that comes with desire, and those two combined end up the success that you're looking for. But you can't just do a whole bunch of research and then expect, well, this is enough, because you're never going to implement it. And let's be honest, idea to execution, that's the name of the game. The faster you can go from idea to execution is the faster you're going to find success at this. So discounted version of yourself means you are not living up to your purpose or what people would say your potential. It's all just inside waiting to be released. I don't know what you're waiting for is the question. So that's a question you have to ask yourself. What are you waiting for? What is the thing you are willing to do to go all in on your dream? Because the dream is there. And this is 2018. The resources are also there. So what is the thing that you're willing to do to go all out? Because it's going to take a little bit more than just desire and some Googling to get to where you're wanting to go, right? So I think that's the question. The question is, are you living a discounted version of yourself? And then what are you willing to do to change that? Because I see people who are just wasting away at the life that they're living because they don't think that they are worth giving themselves the gift of moving forward, giving yourself the gift of going all in on your dream, giving yourself the gift of at least exploring what it's going to look like. Now, if you tried everything that is available to you on this planet and you've done everything you can and you failed, then that's a different conversation. Then we're going to take a look at, well, maybe it's not the thing for you. Right? But if you haven't done anything and all you've done was research or signed up for a couple webinars and then you're like, well, this isn't working. You know why it's not working? Because you're not willing to make it work. You're not really putting in the work that is required for it to actually happen. And you have to get honest with yourself about that, because if you're not honest about going all in, then it's going to be very difficult to get to where it is you're trying to go. Hey, Dr. G. Hey, Cherie. Hey, Natasha. Hey, Jennifer. Oh no, I can't see all the comments. I don't know if there's any more comments beyond that. So anyway, I just wanted to encourage you guys because I had a conversation today about that. And then, you guys know, like I said, I'm launching the thing for kids and I'm having this new conversation with parents about the kids and what they desire to do. And it's so interesting because kids don't have this problem. Kids are like, I want to do it. I'm doing it. Great. When I was talking to the kids on career day last week and I said, well, what is it that you want to do? A lot of them were just like, this is what I want to do. And I was like, oh, okay. There was no hindrance of it. And I was like, well, what do you have to do to get there? Well, tell me what it is you have to do to get there. Everybody was like, you got to work hard. Some ones who were like wanted to be doctors or lawyers are like, you got to go to college. I mean, they pretty much had the steps down. No one was like, well, you got to go to college, but I don't have this, or that, or the other. Or, I have to work hard, but I don't really want to work hard. I just kind of wanted to, no one had that excuse. And when I was talking to them about entrepreneurship, a lot of them, they got it so quickly. They were like, oh, so I like taking pictures. I can start a business about taking pictures. And I was like, yeah, you can. Like they got it instantaneously. And so the kids, they're about a dozen families that have signed up for my summer program that I have running for the kids right now. And I'm so proud of them because parents are approaching this with a lot of caution, which makes sense because when we grew up, a lot of the parents are my age or older, but when we grew up, we didn't have things like YouTube and social media. But so parents are like, but I have to see the possibility here. I have to see what's available to them moving forward. I have to look at this as a viable entry point to whatever career they want, because the career they want in 10 years may not even exist, right? I mean, if they're outsourcing like legal things now. So if they want to be a lawyer, like the salary of lawyers, one, is going down. I know because I worked at a law school for a very long time. So the legal profession in general, I mean, it's something that we're seeing. What used to be one of the upper echelons of careers is now not. And in the next 10 years, probably won't be either. And with technology, there are machines that are doing surgery now. So that cuts out the surgeons of the world. So we're seeing a lot of transition in our life and in the way that our world works because of technology and because of new innovation. But what are you going to do then? Like, and I even have friends who went to college to study one thing, and then they got out of college, and that career no longer existed. Like, they were like, I went to school because I studied this because I wanted that job, and now that job doesn't exist anymore. And then they find themselves in a space where they're like, now what? Like, what do I do now? And so I really think that for kids, if you have kids, like, this is really a great time to start exploring the possibilities of something new. And entrepreneurship isn't going to be for everybody. Like, let's be honest. Like, I think there are 7 pillars of society, and every single one of those pillars can't be entrepreneurship. There needs to be government. There needs to be politics. There needs to be education. There needs to be infrastructure. There needs to be all those things. But we do need to start looking at it as a viable alternative, or not even alternative, just a viable option for moving forward. And kids are not blinded to the things that adults are. Like, they don't care about visibility. Like, they just want to open toys on YouTube, right? They don't care about what it's going to look like to their friends. Their friends are probably going to think it's cool. We, on the other hand, as grown people, we're the ones who are like, but what's everybody going to think? And I don't want people to think I'm this. And if I keep posting on Instagram, what are they going to say? Or I don't know if I can do this. I don't have time. Or like, we just make so many excuses for ourselves. And then you end up living a life that's subpar. Here's one thing that I do want you to remember, though. The life that you're living is the life that you think you're worthy of. That is the truth of the matter. Because if you thought you were worthy of something else, you would be doing something else. You would be living a different kind of life. And the minute that you make the transition where you start to say, you know what, I am worth more. I'll briefly tell the story of kind of how I started to realize this when I was in my 9-to-5 job, is they started to ask me about skill sets that I had that had nothing to do with my job. And it was at that point that I was like, you know what? You're asking me to do something that has nothing to do with my job that was completely different because, you know, it was like all like something else based. And that's when I realized I was being very underpaid. And I was like, I wrote it down. I don't have my journal with me, but I wrote down, this is the amount of money that I think that I want to earn. Like, this is the amount of money that I believe I am worth in this day and age. I am not making that money here. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give myself a raise, and I'm going to start my own business, and I'm going to become an online entrepreneur. And that's exactly what I did. And as somebody who has worked her way in the top 1% of wealth in this country, I can tell you right now, it has been so worth it. Because the minute that I decided that I was worth something more is the minute that my entire mind shifted. And it's the minute that I started putting in more effort into what I wanted and not complaining about where I was. Because the truth of the matter is, I was able to do something about it. And you are too. If you're watching this video, you probably live in America or Canada or the UK, where there are possibilities that are available to you. This is not a country, or these are not countries where, you know, we cannot express ourselves, or we can't start businesses. I mean, because we do have, you know, sisters in other parts of the world where this is not a luxury that's afforded to them. But some of us are just not taking advantage. So what was I doing before, Natasha? I worked at a law school. I was an administrator at a law school, and I was managing a law school program. That's what I was doing before. So, and I said, you know what, my skill set, and while I was able to do it just fine, I was also bored out of my mind. Because I knew that there was something else out there for me, and I enjoyed my YouTube channel a lot more than I enjoyed sitting at a 9-to-5 desk all day long. And so it was just time to make a transition. It was time to switch. And I knew that I was meant to, make an impact on this planet, and I wasn't able to do that sitting in my office at the law school, not in the capacity that I knew was possible for me. And I've had the exact same desire or dream or whatever the case is since I was 6 years old. And I just had to go back to my 6-year-old self and say, I'm brave enough to do this. Because when I was 6, I had no fear. Between 6 and now, or when I started my business, there was a lot of fear, because the world will tell you what is acceptable, and the world will tell you what you can and can't do until you make those decisions for yourself. So thanks, Leslie. And thank you guys so much for joining me. Dang it, I wish I was able to record this fully, because I'm testing out this whole, it looks so good on the camera. Guys, like, I wish you could see the quality of that video that I have. I was so excited to put that on YouTube, but shame on me for not checking the SD card and making sure that it had enough space, but it looks so good. It looks so good. But yeah, so that's what I'll do. I'll just splice this video and that video together, and hopefully people on my YouTube channel won't care. I Anyway, hope you guys are having an awesome day. I have to go to a very late lunch. And yeah, love you guys a ton. I will be back with another lunchtime live stream at some point, but I'm committing. Okay, bye guys.